Right, just to show you the difference, these are the two types of planes that you'll generally use in your workshop during your course. On the right is what they call a jack plane. It tends to be long, quite long in its length, and it's primarily used for cleaning up to rough sawn timber. So if you get rough sawn timber in the workshop like this piece that's already in the vise, not been planed up, you'll start off by using this sort of plane. Once you've actually planed it and you've got it down to your lines or the size that you require, you then need to clean up the work that you've done. And you use this, which is called a smoothing plane. Now, as you'll notice, it's substantially smaller in its length, but the features are virtually identical. It has adjustment for blade depth, and it has adjustment for blade alignment with the sole of the plane. Now, what I'll do now, I'll demonstrate using the jack plane just to prepare a basic surface, and then I'll clean it up using the smoothing plane. So first thing I've got to do when using the smoothing plane is I have to set the blade depth with the sole, and I also have to set the blade itself actually parallel with the sole of the plane for it to function properly. So the way I do that, turn the plane upside down, and I shall look up to where the light's good, and I'm now looking at the blade coming through the sole of the plane. I will turn an adjustment knob, and I'll turn it, and I want the blade just to stick out a little bit more, so I turn it anti-clockwise to raise the blade. I can now see the blade popped up through the sole of the plane. The alignment just needs a little of alignment, so I use a lever, left or right, to align the blade. So I'm happy with that. Right, okay. Turn it back. Hold it with two hands, because you need to put a little bit of downward pressure with your left hand, but it's your right hand and your body that will provide the plane with its speed to take a nice clean cut off for you. Again, when you set yourself, set your feet slightly apart, because you'll have a little dancing movement forward and back when you use this process. So, set your plane, set it with the blade off your timber. Don't be tempted to start with the blade on your timber. So, we'll go back, and now I'll just try a quick blow. Now, because it's rough sawn, there's lots of rough fibres sticking up, and I've set the plane quite shallow for depth, so I'll adjust the blade again and give it a go. And it's took a bit more off now. It's took a little bit more off. Now all it's doing at the moment is taking off the high spots. But don't be afraid to give it a bit of speed. You can hear that nice swish sound as you use it. So now I've basically got a flat surface prepared. So I'll put that down. I'll pick up the smoothing plane, and again set the blade, but this time I won't set the depth as much as with the jack plane. So I'll do the adjustments as before, set the blade parallel, now you might not think it's took much off, but it has. But it's wafer thin shaving, and it's only took off the high spot. Adjust it a bit more. Okay, and that is the sort of shaving that you'll get from your smoothing plane if you've got it adjusted right.